as I walk away, this you should know. You should know that I'm that man. You left me spending on the borderline. And I'm that same man. You left me living with a borderline. No more chances to leave me. Hope you can't understand, but I will never be a fool again. Never be a fool again. I'm that man. You left me spending on the borderline. And I'm be loving you. I'll be loving you. I'll be loving you. I'll be loving you.
Sometimes you need to get knocked down before you can really figure out what your fight is and how you need to fight it. Sometimes you need to feel the pain and sting of defeat to activate the real passion and purpose that God predestined inside of you. God says in Jeremiah, I know the plans I have for you. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Hear me well on this day. This day when you have reached the hilltop and you are deciding on next jobs, next steps, careers, further education. You would rather find purpose than a job or a career. Purpose crosses disciplines. Purpose is an essential element of you. It is the reason you are on the planet at this particular time in history. Your very existence is wrapped up in the things you are here to fulfill. Whatever you choose for a career path, remember the struggles along the way are only meant to shape you for your purpose. When God has something for you, it doesn't matter who stands against it. If it's meant for you, God will move someone that's holding you back away from a door and put someone there who will open it for you. I don't know what your future is, but if you're willing to take the harder way, the more complicated one, the one with more failures at first than successes, the one that has ultimately proven to have more meaning, more victory, more glory, then you will not regret it. Press on with pride and press on with purpose and appreciate what God has brought you through.
BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports contests and events with first-to-market odds and lines. What's up, y'all? It's your man, Lloyd Spence. And listen, all you got to do is find your reviews and news for every league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf, all at betonline.ag. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all your sports information, from live in-game betting, props, and futures. So, head to BetOnline today and use your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code BELIEVE50, that's BELIEVE50, B-L-E-A-V 50, to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. It's BetOnline, it's where the game starts. Tell them the Noise Makers sent you.
Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Yeah. Popcorn World. Can I make you groove now? Yes, I can. So you can get this groove in a bag or a can. I can make it round the world when it holds in your hand. Popcorn World. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. I said popcorn make you smile. Ah. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. It's a popcorn world. It's a popcorn world.
Breaking down the rumor and spreading out. Speaking for the people who must go around. Taking truth to power with a whisper and a shout. We're talking noise. Oh yeah, talking noise. Hey yeah, say it again, say we're talking noise. Yeah, talking noise. Really don't have to fool around. Mama noise keeps us lined up. No truth divine. The sound that you hear is a sign of success. We're talking noise. Oh yeah, talking noise. Yeah, picking up all the sound. We're talking noise. Yeah, yeah. Talking noise. Say it again. We're talking noise.
Welcome to Talkin Noise, the daily podcast that brings you up to speed and keeps you informed about real issues affecting real people. With your host, Mr. Talkin Noise himself, Lloyd Spence. His beautiful wife, Mrs. Noise, Kenyatta Spence. The ever-informed Brother Noise, Alan Brown. And yours cordially, Uncle Noise, Shake Anderson. Come on in and join us as we reveal and opine today's most pressing issues. Real truth while having real fun. Talkin Noise is in your house right now. So sit back and enjoy Talkin Noise.
Two, one, ready, come on. I purposely don't advise kid bringing because I don't know how that's gonna work out. You know what I'm saying? We got a Cuz Noise on our show. A Cuz Noise. I'm just saying. What's going on, people? Talking Noise in the building. It's Mama Noise right there. It's Mr. Noise over here. We're having a good time already. Mama Noise, how you doing? You looking regal today. Look at you. It's Brooklyn at. Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at?
Thank you.
How you doing today, Mama Noise?
I'm well.
I could have answered that for you before I even answered it. Asked it.
I don't know if you could, because right now you're in your grooming mode.
No, I'm not grooming yet. I haven't even grabbed the brush yet.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Where's my brush at? Oh, there it is. Yeah, I was getting ready to, but I hadn't done it yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh, Mama Noise. It's been a long couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? What was that?
Oh, I was trying to get my lighting before you said something about it.
Well, it was loud.
Oh, next time I'll mute. Sorry.
Okay. It's good to see you, though, Mama Noise. Good to see everybody. Good to see all the noise makers, all of yous. We love all of yous. God bless each and every one of yous.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, let me get my man up in here, my guy. We're gonna go with white guitars tonight because it's Tuesday and white organ is working. White guitar. Hello, everybody. It's anniversary week here at Noise Media. We're glad to be here with you, ready to have another banging show. And I'm going to use the politician hand to talk to you about how important this week is, how important your serving is, how important your giving is, how important your attendance is. We need you to make this a special week here on Talkin NOIZ. So go grab your church fan, go grab your Bible, go grab your prayer cloths, go grab your vow cards that you made to Juanita Bynum. Bring all that with you, along with your Cash App information. We're going to hit this thing hard this week and have a wonderful good time. Because I'm using politician hands right now. Because those are the most important hands. We give you thanks and we give you praise. Hallelujah. Politician. I don't know why they do this. Why is this non-threatening in this? Like, they don't want you pointing at them. They just want you using politician hands. Okay, man. Ooh, we getting loud. We getting loud. All right. How you doing, Mama Noise? Did you like my politician's hands? Have you ever noticed that when they be talking like really intense, they close their fist and they put that little thumb right at the top?
I don't believe I've noticed that.
I've noticed it. That's how I noticed it with politician hands.
You noticed it?
Yeah, I noticed it. I be noticing stuff, Mama Noise. I notice. Okay. I be noticing.
Clearly.
I be noticing the things that people do. I be noticing as I make my way back to you. I be noticing.
Gosh, that's awful peculiar.
What? What was peculiar about it, Mama Noise?
Oh, I just noticed something on Instagram that I've been posting advertising.
Well, you been noticing it too then. It's a joke, Mama.
Yeah. So on Instagram, I was advertising for the show or marketing the show, however you want to put it. And on my page, I have 799 posts.
Awesome. Congratulations, Mama Noise.
I mean, I don't know if it's for congratulations, but I thought it was awful.
Congratulating. How about that?
Hmm?
I'm congratulating you. How about that?
Okay, well, thanks.
I gotta tell you something. Can we have an honest moment right now?
Mhm.
Number one, I'm cold.
Why is that?
I don't know. I just all of a sudden just got cold. So I'm about to put my blanket on. That's number one. Number two, it's been a long couple of days. We've been working our little heinies off.
It has been a long couple of days.
It has been. But I'm grateful, Mama Noise. I am grateful. I am grateful for the work that we have done.
Wow. I knew you was gonna go there, but it just
I had to put the vibrato in it. Yeah. Mama Noise, I'm gonna recommend an easier way for us to make this money later on in the show here in just a few minutes. But we're gonna just continue to talk right now as we lay out the course of action. Let me give some housekeeping notes real quick.
Okay.
Church announcements, if you will, as we prepare to get ready for the rest of this week. By the way, White Guitarist White popped up. She told me to tell you hello. She said you looked so regal the last couple of days, and she was last week she was talking about, and she just wanted to let you know that. So just FYI. I hope you guys are taking care of patronizing our young nephew, Justice Killebrew. We love him so much. We appreciate him so much. What Jay say, go get the book down, get it from Amazon.com, or you can patronize him by watching Ada Twist, Scientist, on Netflix. Either one, or do both. Just do both. You ain't doing nothing. Just do both. So that's one thing. And also, I hope you have already seen Remember Me, the Mahalia Jackson story written by Louisville's very own soror Erica Nicole Malone. It's on Hulu right now. So go to Hulu right now. Put it in your queue or to watch list. Do that for us. We appreciate that.
I was you took my thoughts. I was thinking that about Ada, the scientist.
Put that in your my list.
Put it in your my list, and then also I was kind of going through it, and soon as they got this thing now on Netflix, when you kind of hover over it, it pops up and it says, did you like it? Did you really like it? And stuff like that. So let's give it some great reviews.
All right then. We got our anniversary coming up this Friday, so you don't want to miss that. I wouldn't miss that if I were you, because we're gonna give out an award on Friday to the Noise Maker of the Year. So we got that going this weekend. So you don't want to miss that. I wouldn't miss that if I were you. I feel like you shouldn't miss that. It'd be wrong to miss that. But before we get to Friday, we got the 5 tomorrow night, and it should be another good one. We had a good time last week.
What is the 5?
Don't do that.
There may be people that are, logging on for the first time, and they see the 5 and they see you strapping gentlemen with your sports hats on and not know that it's a sports talk show.
You don't think they know what the 5 is, Mama? Everybody knows 5.
I have several sorority pages other than my own of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated that watch the show. And they may be like, I could tell my husband about this. I could tell my son about this. But I didn't know that that's what it was. All I saw was the 5.
Okay, well, tell them then.
Ladies of the Divine Nine.
You speaking directly to them?
Huh?
You speaking directly to them?
Ladies of the Divine Nine, my fellow Greek sisters.
Okay.
Listen, the 5 is one of the hottest sports talk shows live on Facebook. There's nothing else like it on a Wednesday night. I encourage you to tell your brother, tell your daddy, tell your husband, tell your cousin.
All right now.
Tune in on Wednesday.
Come on, preach up.
to get the hot take on the sports world with Mr. Noise, Chad Major, Reggie Love, and the guys. It's sure to be a blessing to you. I know you might be like, I don't really quite understand. They are pretty thorough in giving their testament to the things that they've seen on the different sports platforms. Listen, if you don't know, you can learn something. So when you get an opportunity, or no, tomorrow night, there's your opportunity to tune into the 5, the hottest sports talk show live here on Facebook.
Don't not believe. Don't not believe.
Huh?
Don't not believe.
Oh. And then if you say, man, I was here on Wednesday night, but in the morning is so much better for me. No problem. Here at Noise Media Entertainment, we have Believe in the ACC. First thing on Thursday mornings, 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central, with Mr. Noise himself, Lloyd Spence, and the Heisman Trophy winner, Charlie Ward, and Louisville's own Wade sports analyst, Kendrick Haskins. We are chock full of everything that you need: sports, entertainment, and podcasting.
Go ahead, Mama Noise. You did that. I gotta give you credit. You did your thing just now.
Well, I think sometimes ladies see, it says sports, and okay, well then that doesn't include me. But that's not necessarily true, because if it doesn't pertain to you, then share the page.
You think ladies still tune out sports? I don't think they do anymore. I think it's as many ladies watching sports these days. Well, at least on my timeline, it'd be a lot of ladies watching sports.
I think sometimes they feel like, I mean, speaking, figuratively, that, some of them feel like that, I know some things about sports, but then, you guys get to getting analytical and get to really getting deep in it. And then they're like, okay, I don't know anything about those type of things. And so, or I know a certain amount about it just to be able to speak about it. But then when you start really getting to the nitty gritty, it's not my style.
I got you. All right. Well, we'll be on. You can come join and learn. We don't mind teaching. We'll teach you. We'll learn if that's, we don't want to mansplain it, but, we will teach you.
But, if you look at the different sports channels and you see all the ladies, there's lots of ladies.
I was going to say, it's really different than what it used to be. Like, I don't know if ladies are in the dark on sports like they used to be, or like it appeared that they used to be. Now I think they're getting the opportunities, and you finding out that ladies are super tuned into sports, just like anything. And we all just love sports. So anyway, and then of course we got Saturday. We got the Uncorked Wine Awards. Man, this is gonna be so much fun. You'll start seeing some advertising about that for tomorrow, but we just got a lot of good stuff going on. So just keep tuning in, keep checking in with us. A lot of great stuff going on. Anyway, but today is in case you missed it, Monday, but it's Tuesday because we were off yesterday, and we got some stories that we want to get into and talk about and bring y'all up to speed on some stuff that you may have missed over this weekend, or what we're calling a 4-day weekend because we were off yesterday. So I guess we'll jump right in, Mama Noise, with some stuff. One article that was really interesting to me, particularly.
Really?
Are you familiar with the author James Patterson, Mama Noise?
It sounds familiar. I think he's like a not thriller novelist.
Yeah, James is a what's some of the stuff that James has written? Let me, you know what? Out of all the stuff I did to prepare for this particular story, the one thing I forgot to do was to look up some of the books James has written.
Oh man.
James Patterson books are like, oh my. He wrote like Run, Rose, Run with Dolly Parton. He wrote Along Came a. Did he write Along Came a Spider?
Wow.
He might have wrote like in the back of Along Came a Spider, but he's wrote a lot of standalone thrillers and private series and all that kind of stuff. But he's a great writer. He's a pretty great writer, 75-year-old writer, whatever. And he made a statement the other day that was a little egregious. He tried to say that Wahite men were being racially discriminated against in America because they couldn't get writing jobs. They couldn't get publishing. And
What?
that didn't go over too well with the peoples. And so as a result of that, he made a $5.3 million donation to Howard University.
You almost made me spit out my water.
That's what he did, Mama Noise. He gave $5.3 million to Howard University because he said he believes in giving back. And I also gave some money over to PEN, which is an organization that fights for freedom of expression. So
what does that have to do with?
What do you mean? What does that have to do with it? He's trying to say I'm not racist, and he did it with a checkbook.
But did he do this donation before the comment?
He did not. But that's okay, Mama Noise. Doesn't matter when you get the $5.3 million.
He said we'll take that.
Or after. We'll take the check even then. So it's okay. Cuz in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Cuz is in the building. It's good to see him. It's good to be around him. It's good to know him. He's a mighty man of God and a wonderful pastor and friend. He's pastoring the good women on the pole, and they are doing well. And we appreciate Cuz for all of his service to Slide In Missionary Baptist Church. So, Cuz, how you doing today, sir?
Doing good. How about you?
We're doing great, man. We're doing great. It's good to see you, brother. You must be in a good mood since your boy pulled off another one last night.
Yet again, we beat.
They were buried. Everybody had them buried, and Cooper Rush said, "Not so."
Yet again, we beat the Giants' ass.
It wasn't that big of a deal. Now calm down, nigga.
I'm not gonna calm down.
Calm down. It wasn't that serious. Y'all kicked the three-legged dog last night. That wasn't impressive.
Well, we beat you with our backup quarterback. We're talking about a three-legged dog.
We had a lot of backups too. We had a whole backup offensive line.
Your quarterback wasn't no backup.
It don't matter.
You had your top receiver.
No, we didn't.
Kenny
ain't been there since he signed his contract in Detroit.
Who's your top receiver?
It's supposed to be Kenny, but he sucks. He's terrible.
Okay, so to say that we kicked a three-legged dog, we had our Pro Bowl left tackle was out. He's out for the season, apparently.
What does that have to do with us?
Our tight end was out.
What does that have to do with us?
Our number two receiver is out.
So you want to go down the list? Oh, you want to go down the list?
My point is, when you say it's like we kicked the three-legged dog,
you did. What y'all have ain't got nothing to do with us.
Wait a minute. It does. If we're both,
it doesn't.
If we're both fighting on three legs, it's an even match.
Y'all ain't fighting on no three legs.
We beat you with a backup quarterback.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did, and I'm proud of you.
Okay. Well,
I'm proud of you. I'm so happy for the Cowboys. This is a banner day for them.
I mean, the backup quarterback was obviously good enough to beat you guys.
Now, let's keep in mind that the backup has been the backup for like 19 years. So if anybody ought to know the system, it should be him.
It doesn't matter.
It matters.
We can only debate, argue, fuss, and fight over the element that was on the field. That's all we can.
And that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Y'all had a 19-year
excuses.
Y'all had a 19-year career backup that did very well last night. He was wonderful.
Well, I'm going to venture to say that he did well, but listen, what the Dallas Cowboy defense did to Cooper Rush last night should be illegal in all 50 states.
Cooper Rush.
I mean that boy, Daniel Jones. They.
Here it come, Mama Noise. Wait for it.
They had that boy running, so I thought for a second he must have had a vagina.
See, I knew it was coming. You know it was coming. You know it was coming.
There ain't nowhere in the hell grown men chasing another man like that unless he got something they want.
He did. He had the ball. He had the ball. That's all he had.
No, that boy the ball, man. He either owed them money or he had something they wanted.
No, we just got a lot of holes right now.
Man, that boy. Listen, he is now one of my favorite quarterbacks. He's an Iron Man.
He did good.
No. He did great.
I ain't gonna say great. He did good.
Listen.
Under the circumstances that he was in, not having all of his linemen and the playing with rookies and whatever.
We have all our linemen.
Hey man, I ain't talking about your guy. Be quiet. Our guy did okay. He did better. It for sure was not his fault the loss last night. It was not his fault by any stretch of the imagination.
It was the offensive line's fault. They couldn't hold back Jackson State last night.
I just said that, Negro child. I just said that.
Listen.
See, this is why you are the reason why people hate Cowboy fans. You can't compliment them. You can't give them. Hush. Just hush.
You got to talk to Jesus about that hatred.
You can't even hush. Cowboy fans can't even hush.
Ain't not my fault. Ain't my fault. Y'all hate
You know
the
what I'm talking about? We're not hating. We hate y'all.
Try Jesus.
We actually like the Cowboy, but we can't stand y'all.
Hey, try Jesus. He'll help you out with all that old hatred.
Listen, I think Jesus hates y'all.
He might. He might.
I think the Lord.
Last night he was on our side because they ran.
I think the Lord is like, oh, I can't stand these Cowboy fans.
Cooper Rush had on the wrong pair of shoes. I'm not Cooper Rush. Daniel Jones had on the wrong pair of shoes. He had on track shoes last night because he needed to run track.
Listen. I appreciate you sharing all this with us, y'all. I appreciate you sharing all this with us. Like I said, Cowboy fans, you are the problem.
Listen, Podcast Nation. Here's the truth of the matter.
The best part about Cowboy Nation is that no matter how they brag in week 3, by week 17, 18, and 19, it always ends up in the same place.
Here's the truth.
We all end up sitting on the same couch.
Cowboy Nation, listening podcast land.
Here we go.
This guy here with the robe on,
this ain't no robe. This is my blanket. I'm cold.
This guy here, listen, he's a true Giants fan.
I really am. I love the guys. They did good last night.
Hold on now.
I had no expectations. I told you that on Friday.
Stop it. They started 2-0. Stop the lies.
What does that have to do with me? I have no expectation.
You had no expectation. Come on.
None. Zero expectation.
You know, and that's sad. That's sad when you as a fandom has dropped your expectation of a team that has let you down year after year after year.
Well, you want us to be delusional like y'all, and y'all think y'all gonna win the Super Bowl every year?
The bottom line is you guys are 1-11 against us the past 12 games. 1-11.
Well, congratulations. Y'all have beat us
past 11
games. Thank you.
The problem is we are the only game on the calendar that seems to matter to you guys. As long as you beat the Cowboys,
don't care about y'all. What are you talking about? We don't care about y'all like that.
You and I both know the truth. As long as
we don't
beat the Cowboys,
No. Here's the problem I'm having with you saying. We don't care about that like you do. You care. Cowboy fans care about that because y'all just got an obsession with the Giants. And I understand because we've won far more recently our Super Bowls than y'all have. Y'all haven't won in 20.
Don't we have a lies drop?
Yeah, but I'm not going to use it for telling the truth.
Because you just lied.
I'm not going to tell the truth. I'm not going to use it telling the truth. He can say whatever he wants. It don't make it true. Everybody know Cowboys can't win nothing. They suck. Y'all listen. Why are you doing this? We're gonna end up in the same place. And here's what's interesting about Cuz. Cuz will do all this bragging in week 3, week 4, week 9, week 12 about his Cowboy, his beloved Cowboy. But I'll be damned if the playoff come when them niggas lose. You can't find Cuz. He won't answer his phone. I can't stop by the house. He damn near leave the state of Texas. And it's going to end up the same way this year. I don't know why we doing this. Why do we have to keep, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And that is Cowboy fans. Every year for the past 26 years.
I don't mind anything you said Mr. Noise. I accept all of that.
As you should, because I like to tell the truth.
The reality is people have talked about our conference being a crap conference because the teams in that division suck so bad. And generally speaking, you guys are bringing up the bottom of that division.
Oh my goodness.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move on and invite Mama Noise back into a decent conversation that's not about sports. Because
look at Tara. Tara said the Giants won Super Bowl since the Cowboys last did. My cousin was on the team at that time.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do it. That's like black people going back to Africa for their history when they got all of the southern part of the United States as a part of their history, but they want to.
Nobody want to celebrate Mississippi history.
Well, it's a part of who we are. It's a part of who we are. Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and Kentucky, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina. That's a part of who we are. We want
all right. What do you think about this $5 million this man just gave to black people? Are you okay with that?
I don't give a damn about
it. Can he be racist and give $5 million? Is that okay?
People have always tried to pay their way out of their inserting a foot in mouth. That's a part of the American way to pay your way out of things that you've done, or to pay your way into things that you can't do.
Do you think it's gonna work for Brett Favre? This is like in a lot of trouble.
This is an example of investigative journalism and public opinion that's going to bring him down.
Brett, I think
without the investigator and the public opinion, his ass would have got away with it, just like all the otherwise.
I completely agree with that. I think that's why I was trying, because Mama Noise be hot about it. Last week she was pissy hot about Brett Favre, and I was like, Mama Noise, why are you shocked at a white man who's trying to steal money from black people? That's like the foundation of this country. Like that's exactly.
I don't look at it like that. I mean,
okay,
look at it that way. But white people have always stole money from the government. But please, please, please don't give them poor people welfare. Don't, because you're bankrupting our country. But they've been stealing money from the country since the country's founding.
Yeah. Well, all I know is I don't think this is. Listen, because she asked why we ain't talking more about Brett Favre. I said because I really want to celebrate the end before the beginning. Because it's gonna end bad. It's gonna end real bad.
You can't build a
clank
a soccer stadium with welfare money and then plead I didn't know.
Right. Yeah. It's gonna end bad. It's gonna end bad. It's gonna end bad.
Can't do that.
So I shout out to James Patterson for taking his money and at least trying to do something good with it. Brett didn't even try to do nothing good with it.
He did. He tried to build a soccer stadium.
Who care about soccer in Mississippi?
All colleges care about soccer, Mr. Noise. What you don't want to do is
Mississippi ain't known for its soccer, Jay.
What you don't want to do is just, blatantly show your ignorance on this here podcast.
Jay, Mississippi ain't known for its soccer. You know that.
Mr. Noise, every college has a soccer team. I mean,
that ain't what I said. I ain't said y'all.
It's not even soccer. It's volleyball.
I said they ain't known for none of it.
But it's not a matter of being known for anything. They still have teams.
Well,
so I mean, it is what it is, Mr. Noise. I mean, the man took welfare money and built his daughter and her team and the school that he went to, University of Southern Mississippi Golden Eagles, USM, built them a volleyball court, and he took government money that it shouldn't have been taken.
I agree.
He knew something was wrong with the money because of all of the texts that they were going back and forth. He knew something was wrong.
Well, listen, one thing I was trying to explain to Mama Noise, when the federal government typically gets involved in any investigation, they're not getting involved because they're trying to figure something out. They're trying to get involved because they got it figured out. And they just trying to finish nailing you to the wall that they've already built. They got you dead to rights.
You say that, but there are still certain individuals from the highest office of the land still walking the streets.
They got him dead to rights too. He's just using all the loopholes that he possibly can.
Listen. Al B, as sure as I am and as sure as I am black and ugly, they got him. You cannot, I don't care what kind of legal team you have and how much money you have, you can't fight as many battles as he's fighting on as many different fronts as he's fighting and win them all. Not when you are an undisciplined ass like he is. Can't keep his mouth shut. So it's only a matter of time. But they have to do their due diligence. They have to take their time on this because it's unprecedented that something like that would happen. Not in this country. Third world country, yeah, but a president in this country, yeah. So they really got to take their time on it and do it right.
They get it. They got it. They got it. Albie, how you doing, man? It's good to see you.
Just walked through the door, but yet it is good to be seen.
Well, Albie, all I want to know, Albie, is how about them Cowboys?
How about them Cowboys?
Oh my goodness.
Giants do fall. The big one.
That was actually pretty good. Now that was actually pretty good. That was good. See, why can't you be creative like that? Stop saying stupid shit. Say something creative.
Well,
like
first of all, Negro, I don't sing, even though I know all the songs.
You do know all the songs. I give you credit.
Why would I want to get on here and sing? I mean,
well, you're
I
right.
didn't say you had to sing. Just be creative.
Listen, my whole MO all my life has been to say stupid shit. I'm not going to change people.
That's true. That's true. Now that part is true. I can't even argue with that part.
I mean, I agree because even the hymn books know the words to the song.
GTD and say stupid shit.
Wow.
And say stupid.
She said even the hymn books know the song. Wow. That was kind of catchy, Lord. That was, we should probably move on before this gets out of control. Listen, I recognize that we're getting closer to the holidays, and folk got to do what they got to do to make the ends meet because it's getting tight. You got kids, you're trying to pay for turkeys and whatnot and what you got. But I'll be honest with you, this is a story I did not expect. Today, the internet has been on fire because they found out that the former NAACP chapter president that went famous, Rachel Dolezal, has an OnlyFans. and I'm gonna be honest. Yes. Be honest with the peoples. When I heard the story, I was like, they found out because the pictures leaked today.
Oh.
And I was like, really? Her?
Okay.
I'll just say this. Let me just say
Nope, we're not sending the link, Anthony Bruce.
You. I'll show you the only one I can show you. It's the only one I can show you. I can't show you no other ones. Because it's a real OnlyFans. It's a real one. It's not a fake OnlyFans. It's a real OnlyFans.
You don't have to hide your face, Mama. It's a nude.
No, she's covered, Mama Noise.
Yeah, it's a bodysuit.
That was disgusting.
Well, now don't do that, Mama Noise. We're not gonna body shame the woman. She's out here trying to
I
make
didn't want to
money.
see her body.
She's trying to make her money, Mama Noise. She listens. They kicked her out the NAACP.
Her tail was perpetrating. She wasn't. You know
Well,
what?
be that as it may, Mama Noise, she's trying to make the ends meet. It all started because she was trying to advertise Rihanna's Savage Fenty line. And then it kind of just, grew from there.
What?
It grew from there.
Grew from what? She was trying to advertise Rihanna. Okay,
she was advertising the Fenty line, like, let me show you these draws. And then it grew into a thing. And maybe she felt confident.
Was she on staff for Fenty?
Huh?
Was she on staff for Fenty, or was she just some rando saying?
I cannot confirm that.
Okay, I'm saying, why are we adding Rihanna to this mix?
Well, that's what it was. That was the reason why she said she created it. She created it so that she could advertise for that. Now I don't know.
Well, she's trying to put her bid in.
Said she was paying honor.
She was paying honor, right? Some people try to advertise so they can get like somebody like Rihanna, be like, oh yeah, Rachel Dolez's out. Yeah, let me get her to do it.
You know what, Chad? You better not try to come for me.
What happened with Chad? No, Rihanna didn't have anything to do with it. She wasn't paying her for it.
Well, I said she's trying to put her bid in.
She's trying to put her bid in.
Like, Rihanna, look.
She was saying,
girl.
She was like, maybe if I would show these goodies, my goodies, and then Rihanna will give her a contract or something.
Well, it sounds so.
I'm annoyed. She might not be a black woman in on the outside, but she got black problems on the end. She got black problems.
Well,
now, doggone it, she got black problems.
Why? Because she put that as her
just her whole life is one big black problem.
But that's what she wanted. Else she wouldn't have signed up.
I mean, her commitment to black problems is strong. Since she done got fired on a day off, she done got been on stamps. She out here on OnlyFans. She doing black stuff.
No, she's doing it because Black China, was getting you at you talked about a couple of weeks back about Black China making how many $1 million or something like that a day.
She killing a day, but
a week,
maybe less than that.
And then I saw some article today talking about she was advertising something and then gave an underboob shot or something like that, and just caused all kinds of.
She was just advertising her OnlyFans. Mama knows you can't win if you don't play.
Whatever.
You can't win if you don't play. So Rachel's out here in these streets. She's trying to live her best life and provide the people a service, because that's what OnlyFans is. It's a service, and they try to make life easier for people who need that particular service. I don't know why you don't want a black woman to be great, Mama Noise.
Wait a minute.
What?
Really?
What?
Black women can be great without showing underboobs and showing it up and lifting their leg up, trying to show the backside of the thigh. We can be great.
Well, but they want to be great faster. Like you.
No, we don't have to
be
naked.
Great takes too long for some of you.
You don't have to be naked to be great.
Your way takes too long, though, Mama Noise. Like it takes too long.
Interesting.
These women,
moderate, because
these women, like, I'm trying to be great in 2 weeks. Like I'm trying to go be great.
And Mr. Noise.
She is one thing about Rachel Dolezal, she's committed to her blackness. She is committed to it. She wants listen. She's taking up the full mantle. All black problems. She want them all.
Lies.
Okay. Mom, no, there ain't no lies. Where's the lie?
She didn't want all the black problems. She'd have went ahead and put what was really popping for her job in her job description application.
She didn't want to be stereotyped as a white woman.
What? Stereotyped as a white woman. I can't even know if you do you hear it?
I hear it, Mama Noah. Do you hear it? Because you stereotyping her right now. You want to let this woman be great. She's trying to put her life out there in a way to where she can live it free of criticism and critique.
Oh my gosh.
I ain't even gonna front. I just scrolled through some of these pictures.
Okay.
If I didn't know her backstory, I'd be like, damn, girl. Ray thicker than a cold jar of peanut butter.
See what I'm saying, Mama Noise? She provided a service.
There are all kinds of services provided when you pay for it.
But I know her back.
What's your point?
Hell no, can't do that.
So you don't want her because she faked her blackness? See, Al, you're not right. You're part of the problem.
That's right, bro. She got deep issues.
Because have you seen any of the pictures?
No.
And I'm not willing to fight for that, so I'm gonna move on.
All right. I'm gonna show you the only one I can show you, cuz it's the only one I can show you for now.
So glad I'm not on screen.
But there are some other ones that are floating out there.
Mm-hmm.
NSFW, as they say.
Mm-hmm. Just type Rachel Dolezal OnlyFans and then hit images. Be blessed.
No, you didn't.
I don't, but see, Tara, I don't consider Trinika that. I don't consider Trinika is trying to make it just like Rachel's trying to make it. Just like Black China trying to make it. They all got the same agenda. Keeping your head above water. Making new ways when you can. It's not, listen, I ain't gonna lie, it's not the most ideal way to make it.
Really?
I'm sure that's not the way they planned on making it when they went to the guidance counselor their senior year. But circumstances have conspired to where they feel backed against the wall. And that money's quick, Mama Noise. That money's fast and quick. And that's why these women are turning to it.
Okay. Sad.
Yeah, you're right about that, Tara. You're right about that. I know it's a problem. It's problematic. Listen, all jokes aside, it's problematic, and societally, it's very problematic because a lot of women are turning to this now as the path out. And yeah, you can make some fast money because guys will pay for everything. As weird as it to me, it's weird because you don't have to pay for it anymore. But brothers are like, I want the quality porn. I don't want the low budget porn. I want the high quality porn. So they pay for the OnlyFans subscriptions and do whatever they feel like they need to do to get what they need to get. I guess that's where we are. But these women are winning. These women are getting their money. They're getting their money. You can go ahead and ask Tara. They're getting their money. And I don't know how y'all feel about it. Cuz Al, I don't know how y'all feel about it. Mama Noise kind of already stated how she feels about it, but Cuz, how you feel about it? Rachel or Black China or otherwise?
I don't care.
You don't care that Wait a minute. The defender of the earth don't care if these women are showing they blessings.
Well, that's because that's what they do over sliding.
That's true.
So then there's that.
Listen, in society, generally speaking, nothing that happens in a bubble. There's a reason for things happening.
So what is the OnlyFans reason?
So if there was not such a market, women wouldn't do it. If we didn't spend so much time with our devices searching out for porn, then women wouldn't do it. There's a market for it. And technically, it's easier. There's no contact. Listen, all over the cities of America, prostitutes have sold their asses for $10, for $25.
Right.
They didn't suck dicks for $5.
Now wait, that escalated too quickly. I wasn't prepared.
I say something wrong. I say something wrong.
Mama knows. Did I go too fast? Listen. Diseases and filth, danger, abuse, beatings, killings took place in those environments. But now a woman's in the safety of her home, showing her kitty cat, meow.
Nope.
And making a whole lot more money.
Yeah.
Now, how do you treat her as if she's a victim? I mean, I think it's sad that we have had to resort to that, but listen.
You said, how do we treat her as a victim?
Yeah, I mean, she's not a victim.
No, I wouldn't say she's a victim.
No, they're not.
No, I wouldn't say she's a victim.
They are winning at the game. Now, long term, does that work? Probably not.
Well, that is the question.
Well,
are they winning? Are they winning?
And our society now is get what you can get while you can get it. It's no different. It's no difference than football players knowing that head injuries cause brain disease, and yet they keep doing it. Long term, we all know it's not a good thing.
You know, it's interesting.
But we still want our entertainment right now.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting that you use that as an example. If you were watching football this weekend, you saw a play in the Miami Buffalo game where Tua Tagovailoa was knocked to the ground, seemingly with a concussion, because he got up and stumbled back to the huddle, literally stumbled back to the huddle, to the point where his offensive line had to kind of hold him up because he was stumbling so bad. And they eventually took him out the game, and it looked visually like he had a concussion, but yet he came back to finish the game. My point of saying that is, it's amazing how we calculate the risk-reward factor in today's society. And the risk typically diminishes greatly in the face of the reward, or what we think the reward is. Now, here's the irony of the reward. In this particular case, the reward was relatively temporary and minuscule. It's one game, and that one game would not have necessarily made or broke their season. But yet he felt compelled to come back and to try to play in that moment, regardless of what the long-term risk or even short-term risk are. And I think that's kind of how these girls see this OnlyFans. Yeah, I put something out there that my daughter won't be proud of. My news have leaked Rachel Dolezal's nudes have leaked all over the internet, and her kids can now see that their mama's out here, and she got her breast all over the internet now. But I also made $20,000 for this past month, or $50,000, or whatever it was. And so, does the reward greatly outdistance the risk?
But is it an option for football players to decide that they don't feel that what just took place, I'm not injured that bad? Is it there? Do they have the option to say, oh, I feel like I'm really injured here, so I'm not going to go back in the game, be in the QB, and say, you know what, I'm feeling a little dizzy, I'm feeling a little concussion, I'm feeling a little something. Can they do that when they done signed?
Ask Antonio Brown, is there an option?
What?
Ask Antonio Brown, is there an option?
Antonio
saw the demise of his career when he chose not to go back in the game because he deemed himself injured,
not healthy, right?
I mean, because I thought you done signed a gazillion contracts.
Well, let me say this: is the obvious answer to your question is yes, there is an option. However, if you choose said option, it comes with tremendous consequence. It could cost you your job. It could cost you your opportunity. It could cost you your career. Could cost you your reputation. So yeah, you can choose that option not to do it. But that, which is why Tua decided to go try to fight through it. And they'll lie. They've already lied and said, oh no, it was his back. It wasn't a concussion. Your back don't make you stumble like that. Your back don't make you stumble like that. So no, you have options always. But if you choose those options, you get what those comes along. You get what comes along with the consequences of making those choices. What up, Ron? And happy anniversary to you, brother. Happy 19th. He said you better get that money on OnlyFans. You need a retirement plan. 401ks are tricky, and companies are going away from true retirement plans. Oh, wow. Okay. Your co-pastor is advocating the OnlyFans route. Here's the irony of what we're talking about. I got a video over here
like 1800
where the young lady, and I don't know if it's fake or not. It might be fake. It's probably fake. I'm sure it's fake. But the woman said to the guy, we on a date. We just started dating. I need you to pay my rent. It's $1,800. We just started dating. $800 a month. Now, the guy, seemingly is upset. Now, obviously, this is all staged, but it's staged. It's probably art imitating life, because we've seen videos where the guy has been upset because he's dating a girl, and he flew her out, and she didn't want to give him none. He's like, well, you got to go back to the airport, and I'm not paying for your flight back, or you this or you that. So guys, and it kind of goes back to Tara's question that she asked a minute ago, because she said, how did she say it? Guys will pay for this, talking about pornography, but turn up their nose at the thought of spending money on their girlfriend or having to spend money on or split it up with their wives. Why is that? And maybe Anthony Bruce got the answer. I don't know. He said you spend money on exactly what you want.
I agree.
I mean, it's probably that simple. You spend money on what you want.
But I'm still trying to. I hear what you're saying about what you want, but it's, where does that come from? Do you feel like that? Well,
people are innately selfish, Mama Noise. We want what we want when we want it. It's that simple.
But
So-
isn't it also like some form of control? You like, so like your boy said on Booty Call, if I buy you this lobster and these shrimps, then expect that this is what's gonna pop off at the end of the night. I'ma expect that.
Well,
Did he say scrimps or shrimps?
He said scrimps. You haven't seen them?
it is. Listen, for a lot of people, wow, I'm going to make a statement. I don't know if y'all gonna like this one though.
It won't be
For
the first.
a lot of people, we are innately selfish, and the world as a whole is basically transactional. And what I mean by that is, I want what I want, and I'm willing to pay for what I want, but my expectation is the good or the services that I've paid for at all times. And there's no boundary to that. So I married you, and I married you because you're cute and you're fine and you can do all those tricks in the bed and whatever. You do that one thing with your mouth.
Hey!
I'm just telling you the truth, Mama Noise. That's what it was.
Talk about you just telling the truth. You better start saying.
But the moment you can't do that anymore, or for some guys you pick up some weight, or you not as gifted or as young looking as you used to look, I don't want you anymore. The transaction is now dead.
What was so wrong about what he said, Mama Noise? I missed it.
If he's saying figuratively, then that's one thing.
I'm not speaking figuratively at all. I'm telling you, there are a lot of immature people. There's more immaturity and selfishness in our world than there are people who are willing to sacrifice and build something together kind of stuff. And so people want what they want, man. Well, I say there's more. Maybe not. Maybe it's about equal. Because in the divorce rate, like almost right at 50%.
I don't know, but I mean, like Tara said, well, then if that's the case, she said, boom, that's why marriages end in divorce, because you didn't want that person, because you're saying, it's
not that I didn't want them. It's just that I just wanted them for a little while.
So temporary is still considered.
Huh?
So you saying, so I just wanted them temporarily. So
Mama Noise. There are people on this planet that buy cars every 2 or 3 years. Or they only lease cars because they know they can take them back and get something new. They don't want a commitment. They just want
the benefits.
People take their iPhones back every year because they want what they want in that moment. They're not trying to commit to it. They're not saying, well, I bought this phone, I'm going to keep it until it dies. I'm going to keep it until something better comes along. We live in a...
That's kind of a... I don't like that example. I understand what your argument is, but technology changes so fast. If you keep the old iPhone, you ain't doing nothing but screwing yourself. I mean,
not really. It's the same technology and iPhone.
No, I have iPhones. They do slow them down, and the batteries become pieces of shit.
Oh, you're saying there's a game being played too,
right? So unless
it is.
Well, but I think both things are true. There is a societal game being played on both sides.
They don't want you to get comfortable with your phone because they're saying you'll never get another one.
But Mama Noise, that's the point. I think we're all kind of saying the same thing. The other side figured out, well, you playing a game, so I'm going to play a game. Women figured out men are playing a game. And they're going to keep trading us in and moving on to the next thing because they're never satisfied. So women said, well, since I know you're not satisfied, I'll just create this OnlyFans and stop trying to build a relationship and just put myself out there and get what I can get. And if you move on, then fine, I'll move on too. It's all transactional.
It's sad, but
I never said it wasn't sad. It's very sad.
No, I'm just saying it's sad because it's.
Phone's ringing.
Somebody's fax machine.
I'm just saying. I mean, cuz am I you think I'm way off base on this?
No, I said I don't disagree with your argument. I just
okay.
Apple.
You just wanted to defend Apple, so we can say the Apple.
Defending shit. I was telling you my personal experience.
Well, it's just.
I've had every iPhone that's been out there, so I understand why people get new phones.
Well, then that means the trick works. It says, look, make sure that this function inside the phone only lasts this long.
Yeah, but I mean, to a degree, we make money in society for the pleasantries and things that we want. That's what life is to a degree. A personal story. You might not be able to relate. You might not give a damn. I don't give a shit.
Why you coming in so hostile?
My wife and I, Mama Noise, don't make those faces. Say what you mean. Don't be making those faces.
My face said exactly what I mean.
Oh my.
People in podcast land can't see it.
Well, they sure know by your reaction.
That's a good point.
Shit here. We work hard in order to be able to buy what we want and enjoy what we want out of life.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as you're doing that responsible, that's completely acceptable.
What is responsible? Explain that.
Well, I don't know to a degree. That varies person to person. The other day, my wife and I went to a football game. And the game was intended for my daughter and I. It was just supposed to be the two of us, my daughter and I. My daughter and I go to a Cowboy game every year. And we sit down in the 100 section, real close to the field, and watch the game and watch them Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. But this particular game, because it was a college game, and I was just trying to introduce her to the team, to the atmosphere, a college atmosphere versus a pro atmosphere, and how those games go.
Mm-hmm.
So we set up real high up in AT&T Stadium. I mean, it was real high.
The nosebleed section?
It was 3 rows from the very top. I mean, we was real high.
That's real high.
But my daughter didn't get to go because, she had a prior engagement, which really pissed me off. But shit happens. So I asked the wife, come on, let's not waste these tickets. Let's go and go to this game, enjoy the game, take in the atmosphere, and we could explain to her what it was like. And as we're walking up those steps and climbing higher and higher, feeling like we was trying to get closer to Jesus.
Mm.
Or as if we wanted to change the light bulbs in the stadium, we were so goddamn high.
Okay. Highway to heaven, huh? Stairway to heaven.
My wife looked at me and said, and I thought she was very wrong. I thought, I asked her to repent because it was wrong. But she looked at me and she said, I make entirely too much money to be sitting up this high.
Mm.
The point is, what your question was, what's responsible? It varies person to person. To her, it was irresponsible for me to sit up that high. But for me, it would have been irresponsible for us to sit down low at a game that we don't really like either team. We just going to take in the atmosphere. trying to introduce a kid to the atmosphere.
Right.
So what you justify in your mind, it's difficult to say what's responsible and what's not responsible. I mean, we have our blatant ones. If you're not paying your light bill and you're buying tickets, that's a different story.
Right.
But if you justify it in your mind, then I mean, shit, hell.
So that brings me back to what we talked about a minute ago. The guy that's making good money, he said, I don't have to settle down with one girl. I can just move on. I can hit this one, move on.
That's dealing with people now. You have to be responsible in your transactions with people.
But if he's being upfront about his intentions, isn't he being responsible? If he's saying, listen, I'm only here tonight for a good time. I'm only getting this subscription to OnlyFans because.
Well, but most of the time, brothers ain't that upfront.
So if the brother is upfront, is he responsible?
I think you're being responsible. You're putting your cards on the table, so then she has a decision to make whether she wants to look at your cards and be down for it or not.
Okay, so that brings us back to the other statement. If you're doing OnlyFans, you're saying, here I am, I'm butt naked. If you like it, if you like to see it, pay this $6.50 a month or $9.99 a month for 3 months. What's the problem?
Hey, I don't see a problem with it. If you got the money to spend and you want to spend the money, spend the money. Is that irresponsible? To me, it is, because you can get porn for free. But for him, he justifies it. So I don't think you can say what's irresponsible and what's not irresponsible. It's to the
I'm talking about both sides, though. Rachel saying, listen, I'm not using this vagina. I might as well be using it. Somebody might want to see it.
Hold on, you said I'm not you. What did you say?
She said she's not using it. Nobody's tapping it, maybe. So she said I can just let somebody see it and make a little change.
I'm pretty sure Rachel didn't say
it. I think you're dead wrong on that one.
Listen, you arrive at the OnlyFans decision because you saying, I think I can make money with this thing.
But it's not because I'm not getting no dick.
Could be.
It could be, but there's the high likelihood that's not the case.
Probably not true, because you can pretty much give it away at that point. But that's not to say that it's true.
Listen, it takes a certain amount of confidence to show your kitty cat on camera.
Listen, normally you don't want to show it if you're getting some on the regular. Normally.
That getting some on the regular don't pay your bills. That has nothing to do with the other.
That's the point I'm making to you. So is this a transactional thing?
Of course it's a transactional thing. You think she's in it for the notoriety? No, she already got that. She's in it to make the money.
Right, because the notoriety would help.
She understands that her time to make that money ain't gonna last forever. You gotta, because OnlyFans ain't gonna last forever. It's a trend.
Look at Ron says. OnlyFans, $100K a month. Corporate job, $8,000 to $9,000 a month.
I don't know if those numbers just seem awfully.
They're not.
Hey, Chris.
Matter of fact, I'll do the research. Y'all talk amongst yourselves.
No, don't be researching, because
No. I'm researching the numbers.
Well,
no. Maybe they're right, but it just seems a little high.
Doesn't it seem?
Go on, Mama.
Do you believe that any of these women that are on the OnlyFans that are basically like a vending machine, a man put the money in the machine and pull the curtain back and get to see all they want to see, are in a relationship?
No, Mama, no.
No, Mark.
No, that ain't no relationship. You mean the people that's looking at her?
Her.
They may think in their minds that they got a relationship with her. That's why they keep paying their money. But
no. You're saying, are they in act? Are the people who are doing OnlyFans in actual relationships?
No.
Then what are you saying, Mom? No.
I'm saying, do you think that woman could be in a committed relationship?
That's what I said. Yeah. Could she be in a committed relationship? Some of them are in their version of it.
Can a man actually say that he's in a relationship with a woman like that and believe that he's the only one?
Mama knows if you're gonna make $100,000 a month, there are quite a few men that wouldn't have a problem with you showing your kitty cat on camera.
I don't know.
So would I completely blow your mind if I told you there are married couples in the porn industry?
No, you wouldn't blow my mind. They both are in there. No.
There are married couples where only one is being pleasured and the other is not a part of the industry.
Right.
Wow.
Now, according to this particular article, the OnlyFans numbers are a bit inflated.
Thank you. It's way too high.
The top earners are making that kind of money, but the regular earners are making right around $140 to $180 a month.
$180 a month?
Yes.
$180 a month?
There are panhandlers out on the corner underneath the overpass making that in a day.
That's right.
I saw on Hulu they had a OnlyFans documentary.
Oh my goodness.
And it gives a full explanation. I mean, if you say, man, I could never do that. I could never show my body. And then they say, you know what? If you just want to show us your feet, just show us things that we want to see you do with your feet, and we will pay you for it.
But it's not really as simple as that. Because the ones that are making good money, like the Rachel Dolezal, they have the name. See, one thing about Rachel Dolezal, she's infamous. And you can make money being famous and infamous. So that's what she's done. She's taken the negative aspects of her fame and said, well, if I'm going to be considered, if they hating on me anyway, I might as well make some money off of the hate.
Okay. Well, Tara in the chat, she says, who on this panel would advise their daughters to pursue an OnlyFans account and invest wisely in lieu of going to college and working in corporate America or being an entrepreneur for that $100K monthly?
Well, I don't know if that's a fair question because obviously none of us would do that.
She already knows the answer.
Huh?
She already knows that.
Right. That's not really a fair question. But what I would say is this. The women who are doing it I think they feel as though they have been backed into a corner. And it's not so much that they have been advised to do this thing as much as they feel like they're running. You got to remember, Black China got sued for a lot of money by the Kardashian family. And she ran into some financial issues. I'm not saying it's right. Well, I'm not saying it's right. It's not listen, I don't think so that's the other thing. Wow, this is tough. I have a moral compass that I live by. Should I put my moral compass on your life?
No.
Why not, cuz?
Because this is a free country. One of the problems with religious folks is once they are convicted, then they want to change everybody to believe what they believe. The Bible does talk about, being a fisherman of men and sharing the word and so forth.
Ain't that what Jesus did? He tried to take away the sins of the world.
But Jesus also did something that none of us Negroes would have done. He left earth. He left, and he left us with a choice to make. he did not make it to where we had no options to choose. He left us with an option. Choose me or choose me not.
But he didn't want you choosing the other way.
But the bottom line is he left us with options. Most people that are convicted, saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost, want to take away your choice. And they're willing to not love you because you don't choose what they choose.
Well, now that part I have a problem with. Because I don't know if we're not supposed to love folk regardless of what they choose.
Well, I'm telling you, that's what a lot of Christian folks would do.
Right.
They would treat you like you are less than them.
Right.
When in essence, you're not. We're all the same. I think the Bible talks about filthy rags, even at our best. Yet you walk around here like you somebody just because you've made a choice, and I've made a different choice.
So why they coming for Rachel today then? Rachel said, "I love Jesus, but I'm showing y'all this vagina though."
Hey, I don't like putting down people. I mean, you know, my Mama Noise and I go back and forth about that headscarf she got on her head, but I mean,
see that's that petty.
Let my wife be as gangster as she wants.
But I don't like the fact that we are always trying to be negative about other people. I think that's a huge problem in society because in essence what it says is I'm better than you. And that but for the grace of God goes I.
Does it say I'm better than you or does it say I'm happier than you?
I don't believe most Christians really believe that. That but for the grace of God goes I. Because we turn up our nose too quickly at one another.
Does it say I'm better than you or say I'm happier than you?
What?
You do know that is not scripture, right?
What?
But
What?
therefore the grace of God go I. That's not scripture.
Yeah, it sounds like
I wasn't trying to quote it.
Okay, I was just saying.
Because it came from a hymn book.
But it's still true though. That but for the grace of God goes me. It's a very true statement.
Yeah.
That was from a hymn book.
Things could have happened in my life, but for God's grace. I was young and dumb and full of cum.
Ugh.
I'm just telling you the whole truth, nothing but truth, so help me God.
You could have told me the truth without that.
We will respond accordingly.
I believed you the first 50 times.
I mean,
Even in my foolishness, God kept me.
Right.
Yep. Even in the baptismal pool.
How about
We get saved and we forget.
All of a sudden, we want to think that my sin's different than your sin.
Thank you.
Or your sin's worse than my sin.
But see, what happens is we're taught that.
We are.
When I rolled up in the church, I'm thinking I rolled up in the church. I'm coming to see Jesus. And they like, hold up. Let me see your salvation certificate.
Let me ask this question because Tyra keeps hinting around this, so we'll ask it. I'm gonna ask her a question a different way. Because something is only negative if I live by that moral compass, right? If I don't live by that moral compass or belief, like if I don't believe there's a hell, then how can what I'm doing be bad? I'm not talking about criminal stuff. I'm just talking about moral choices, right? If I don't believe in the same God you believe in, then how can my choice be bad?
But all moral doesn't have to be religion, though. Religious.
It doesn't, but a lot of it is.
A lot of it is.
And a lot of it. Okay, so what guides moral absolutes?
Love for one another. Love for one another. Don't mistreat one another.
How we treat one another. Okay.
I don't have to be a Christian to believe that.
Okay.
I believe you have value as a person, as a human being, without being a Christian.
Okay. Okay.
And I can also be a Christian and treat you like shit.
Also true.
Happens all the time.
Happens all the time.
Do modern believers, this good stuff. Do modern believers have the capacity to love without moral application?
Clarify.
Absolutely.
Modern
But do they choose to love without moral application? No. But they have the capacity, of course.
Why? Okay, so let's go to the latter of that statement. Why do we choose to
For
love
convenience.
or
For convenience, because it suits me. It makes me feel a certain way. So, out of convenience for my situation, I choose to apply love in this way, that way, and not take in consideration this or that.
I'm confused on the question. That's why I was trying to get back in there for you to clarify. You said modern believers?
yes? Can we love without moral application?
Meaning Christians.
Yes. And Al says we have the capacity to do it, but we are choosing not to do it. Because most of our love is conditional.
Well, it's a very difficult conversation.
People in church who deny they have sinned or condemn the sins of others grind me, but those in church who acknowledge sin their own and others without holding it against others are my people. And
Those
people as a whole.
Those people that she talked about that are her people, they're still new in the body of Christ.
They're what?
Those people that she said that are her people, those that are able to love, what now?
Without moral application. In other words, whatever you come in as, I'm going to love you regardless.
Right. Those are new.
Or if you never come in, I'm going to love you regardless.
Those are still babes in the body of Christ.
And see, that's what was meant, my opinion only. I'm not an astute theologian, but that's what was meant with come as you are. It had nothing to do with your appearance, your attire, your dress length, your pants being too tight, or your pants without a belt. It had nothing to do with that. Come as you are meant in the state, the condition that you were, and be loved, nurtured. That's what come as you are meant.
You said it right there, LB. We can start a church tomorrow. Love. Christians don't do a really good job of doing that. They don't do a good job of showing it.
Coming as you are today, though, makes people wildly uncomfortable.
That's because we are much broader than we used to be. Think about where this country and our religious foundation comes from. It's a very narrow, white Anglo, Protestant Catholic view of religion. And it was taught to us. Now, we added our own culture into it, and just so we took it a different route than they did. But now you have those that are free to be atheists and free to be, I'm sure the Buddhists were in this country and the Muslims in this country back in the day, but we didn't know them. Very few of them. We knew Malcolm X. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. Malcolm X had a following, but that was in New York City and Chicago. They were not in Des Moines, Iowa.
Right. I think the capacity to love people, quote unquote, where they are is a fascinating thing, because the requirement for that is so difficult for most people, because you have to not only look beyond what you're seeing in them, but you also have to look beyond what you see in them that reminds you of yourself.
I don't think it's the requirement. I think it's the selflessness and the removal of pridefulness.
But that's hard for people though, Al. That's hard, bro. That's hard. Man, you make me uncomfortable because you remind me of where I used to be. And I don't want to be reminded of where I used to be. You remind me of my dark places. And I don't want to go back to my dark places. That's hard for people. You remind me of the places I'm afraid of inside of me. I don't want to be reminded of the places that I'm afraid of inside of me, because I haven't reconciled those places anyway. I could easily go back to those places if steered the wrong way.
Wow.
That's hard, man.
Oh, that just explains me being a peculiar individual, because sometimes I always want to talk about those things, because I want somebody that is struggling with those things to know that there is a way out. There is healing. There is forgiveness. There is restoration. But if we're going around like we're in a bubble and we never discuss any of those things, I think that's the way I've always.
Mama Noise, let me blow your mind. What if I found peace in the thing that you're trying to get me out of? Wow. Uh-oh.
Okay.
I know you telling me this is wrong, and your Bible tells me that this is wrong, and I ain't supposed to be dating this person, and it's just wrong, but I found peace in this. This is the greatest happiness I've ever known. And you telling me it's wrong? That's tough, man.
But I feel like if you don't tell somebody that it's wrong, it's like no different than with our own children. With our own children, if we don't tell them something's wrong, then they get to be an adult and they make all these choices that could have been chosen differently had they known. They get to be an adult and say, why didn't you just tell me it was wrong? I know I was old enough to understand, and I know you thought maybe,
What does wrong mean today? What does it mean? Something being wrong. What does that mean? Am I a bad person? Or are you saying, what are you saying when you're saying you're wrong? Tara's been talking about it in the chat. I'm not going to condone negative. I'm not condoning what's wrong. What does that mean? It's wrong.
Not the right thing.
Are you talking about from a religious standpoint or from a...
I'm asking a question.
Well, back to what Mama Noise was talking about, and then Al B is going to explain to us what Tara's talking about with that acronym, because I think
culture tag.
I think he knows what it means, but I shouldn't tell him. Listen, part of being an adult, an experienced adult, that's been some places, that's been the road that our kids are trying to travel. The other month or whatever it was, I was traveling on Highway 20 going east. Had my cruise control set at about 90. I mean, I was looking. When I get out there, I love to move, shake, rattle, and roll. And as I'm going down the highway, headed on back home to Mississippi, I noticed that the traffic to my left on the other side coming west had come to a complete stop. They were in a construction zone and they had shut the lane down, the 2 lane down to 1 lane. And then somebody in the 1 lane had an accident in the 1 lane.
Now you got no lane.
So they were stuck like Chuck.
Right.
Nowhere to go. You ever been on 20 going east or west? Ain't no going off on the road and coming back up off of that. No, it's too steep, too deep, whatever. So they were stuck. And people were outside of their vehicles talking and sitting because they had been there for a while.
Yeah.
Well, as I'm still booking, heading east 90 miles per hour, I see other cars coming. And they booking because they think they're going somewhere. But I just traveled the direction that they're going. So I actually know that they're about to be stuck like Chuck. A part of parenting and a part of teaching people is that I have experienced what you are getting ready to go through, what you're coming up against. I can see what you can't see. I've already seen it. I've already lived it. So we do things in order to protect people and to teach them, to stop them from going through the struggle or the pitfalls of life.
So you're talking about consequence.
So that's not necessarily right or wrong. But I can save you some pain if you would just listen.
So that's that saying of life has many lessons. You don't have to take every class.
Correct. But I should teach you that out of love for you. Do we teach out of love for the person, or do we teach because we want to be right and we want to prove that they're wrong?
See, that therein lies the issue for me, where we're talking about. I don't think we're teaching anymore wrong as it relates to consequence and pain. I think we're just teaching, like what Al said, what makes me feel comfortable and what feeds into my belief system. And I'm too prideful to let you do this in my presence and blah, 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 blah. It's a different mindset. It's not about them. It's about me and how I feel about what you're doing.
To a degree, the reason is, I believe, to a degree, because a lot of what we were taught to fear a lot of things.
Right.
And we didn't do a lot of things because we had fear in us from what they had taught us.
Right.
But as you get older, you realize that fear was a fool's game. I didn't have to be scared of that pussy. I mean,
well, clearly you got over that fear early.
I mean,
you reconcile that early.
I just heard what you said.
You was like, you got into that first one, and you was like,
oh my God. So many of our ancestors taught us fear this, fear that. And most of us were raised, and we are who we are now because we are scared to step outside of the box.
Right. But now we have Google.
Now you ain't got to be ignorant. I mean, you ain't got to be as what?
That's what I'm saying. Now we have Google. So I don't have to depend on what you told me. Right. I can go find the information for myself. Totally. And then I say, oh, that ain't that bad. Totally that doesn't carry so many consequences. But what Google doesn't do is give you consequences. It gives you information.
Right.
And you still don't know what your actions are going to lead to. And therein lies the problem. So to answer the question about would I tell somebody what to do, not to do it, I would say, hey, listen, here's what happens when you do this. This is what you're going to get. It is inevitable and it is certain that this is the outcome of this action.
They kept most girls from getting pregnant because they had convinced those girls, first time you have sex, you're going to get pregnant.
Right.
No, it wasn't it.
It
Yeah,
kept
my
a lot
mother
of
said
girls.
it
It
was
kept a lot
going.
of girls, Mama Noise.
Oh. That's right. That was way back when.
In the 80s, it was in the 80s, late 80s and 90s, it was I ain't trying to get that age.
Oh my
I'm
God.
just saying, fear has been the guiding factor to
You
a
are
lot of decisions in the lives of people.
you are absolutely correct. 'Cause my mama had the daylight scared out of me, boy.
Fear taught us accountability to a certain extent, but not necessarily to the extent that we would always adhere to it. Like, I don't know if fear completely made us accountable.
No.
Like, my mom was like, don't be bringing no babies in here.
Yeah, that was
She
pretty
said
much.
it, and I was like, okay. And sometimes I listened and sometimes I didn't.
He was like, I'm gonna be careful.
No, I was like, my pullout game is amazing.
That's what you thought.
That's what I thought. I was like, I'll be fine. It's a timing issue.
Pull out game. I'm telling you.
But that's what Mama Noise. That's what I'm saying. I clearly wasn't afraid enough of what she taught me to adhere to what she said. So sometimes fear makes you accountable, and sometimes it doesn't.
But I also believe that raising kids in fear.
That's true, Ryan.
Adults do it to control, right? We're able to control our kids because they're scared of the belt. They're scared of us, our mouths, what we're going to do. And we call that healthy fear. But
right.
But it's fear. I believe when you raise kids out of fear, you also raise adults that fear. You put shackles on them that they spend a lifetime trying to get off. Because mentally, they are scared to step out of the box and do things that they can do, but they've always been told fear.
Can I give you another side of that? I don't think it's I agree with what you're saying. I do agree with what you're saying to some extent. But here's the other side that I think is the detriment. Because I remember the scripture, Proverbs 9 and 10. Look at me going to scripture today, where it says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. I don't think we teach fear from the proper perspective. And therein lies the real problem. We teach fear as a terrification type thing. Oh, I'm in trouble. There's a punishment. I'm gonna get in trouble. When really the act. Okay, let's just go there. Once we finished sex for the first time, the stuff that we were told was going to happen did not happen.
But we sure feared it was.
We feared it because that's what we were told.
For a whole month later, 2-3 months later.
Hey, everything all right? You good? You all right? You okay? Did it go?
No, if you all right, it was have you had your period?
Did you have it? Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
Did the visitor, monthly visitor?
I was able to get away with it. So now we're not afraid anymore. But that wasn't what that was supposed to be talking about. What it was talking about is that there were consequences tied to that are going to be paid in dividend from that act. Because the part that they didn't tell you about was, I don't want to see you no more. Well, you said you love me, and now you done broke this heart, or you done got your heart broke, or you done tied yourself to this person, and now you up the night thing. Man, I wonder what Sally's doing. Or now you got all this other stuff tied to this moment that you didn't anticipate. Because we were teaching fear of punishment.
Yeah.
We weren't teaching fear from consequence.
Anthony Bruce said, let's roll them dice again.
Listen, if you don't crap out, you play again.
Well, listen. Our parents raised us in fear because they were raised in fear.
In fear, exactly. Yes, 1,000%.
So it was passed down from a slave's mentality. It's impossible for us to get away from that. That's the truth.
That's a good point. Jay, that's a really strong point.
That's how the white man controlled.
That's a really strong point.
And that's how they ended up controlling.
Yeah.
And it was been passed down through the generations.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But I think you made a good point as well, Mr. Noise, is that, you know, we weren't given real facts other than you trying to prevent pregnancy. That's it. Instead of telling us, like you said, you know, what's all attached to that. You need to know that, man, you trying to play house and this person ain't trying to, you know, they may play house temporarily. They're not trying to be permanent. Girls are writing down Mr. and Mrs. We are writing down that, you know, I'm gonna be his wife. I'm gonna be his one and only. He love me. If sex is involved, then he love me. Sex is, you know, is equals love. You know, we're looking at it from that perspective. So then here you go thinking, okay, I'm ready for love. Maybe, you know, and if sex is the way to get to love, I'm down for it. However, as soon as he be like, show appreciate your contribution, dang, there go Big Booty Judy. And then just move on like, you know, nothing ever happened. Then that girl is just crushed. Like, what? I gave my love away. You're supposed to give it back. What do you mean you're moving on to somebody else? What do you mean it's over?
Mama Noise, he did love you at that moment.
What the?
That's why your daddy is so important in your life to explain to you. He can't love you because he doesn't know what love is. He doesn't have a clue.
But that's the part. That's the part that we're supposed to really be talking about, in addition to just, you know.
We can't talk about it because the people that need to talk about it aren't available to talk about it.
What do you mean by that?
It takes a dad to teach his daughter about a love from a man. Mm. Mama really can't do that. She's not going to listen to mama.
Well, and if she didn't get it, how can she tell me about it?
Right. And I'm looking at your relationship, mama, and your I mean, I'm just saying.
I watched the video this past weekend. Some of you saw the same video. It went viral. Apparently, this weekend was the Women Now Are Loosed conference at the Potter's house. I don't know if it was at the Potter's house. Maybe it wasn't at the Potter's house.
Atlanta.
It was Atlanta? Okay. But at any rate, an announcement was made, or it appeared that it was somewhat spontaneous, although I believe Bishop may have probably in his mind planned it out and thought that he was going to do this. But at any rate, he affirmed his daughter, I guess she's the oldest daughter, right? Sarah Jakes Roberts.
I don't know. That other one might be.
I'm not saying she's the oldest of the kids.
Oh, okay.
But I think she's the oldest daughter. I think she is. But at any rate, he affirmed her and said that going forward, Woman Thou Art Loose would be her baby.
Oh, yeah.
And then he said, I got your back. And we're going to make sure that you continue to succeed and go forth and speak for your generation. Now, what was powerful about it is that it was a father affirming a young lady into her destiny live on stage. What was even more powerful about it is if you know Sarah Jakes' story, there was a moment in her life where appears she may never step into those footsteps.
Really?
Yeah, she that's the one, if I'm not mistaken, Jay, you correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't know.
But if I'm not mistaken, she was the one that had her son, her oldest son, quote unquote, out of wedlock.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That just means she was screwing before she got married. I don't.
That's all that means.
Yeah.
And to some degree, that was
what everybody else does.
Well, but you know how folks are. Folks try to use that as ammunition against Bishop.
Judgmental.
And say, look at him. He can't even control his own house.
Yep.
Well,
out here saving the world and can't even
amount,
control his own house.
There's a certain amount of truth to that, though.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
I'm just saying there's a certain amount of truth to it. Preachers' kids oftentimes, I think it's damn near virtually impossible. At some point in their lives, preachers' kids resent the church.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Because they took their parents.
The church.
And in her case, that's probably true.
It's very true.
Because her dad, with all due respect to Bishop, he was I'm sure he was gone a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And probably at some critical developmental moments in her life.
Correct.
Now that's not to say
in all of his kids' lives.
Right. That's not to say he didn't have those conversations with her. That's not to say, because I don't know if he had those conversations with her. But
part-time parenting doesn't work.
It's very difficult. And I think that's what we're talking about in this instance. We're talking about how do you instill consequence to your children to help them understand if you go this route, these are the things, these are the expectations that you can have. And they're not good. And they're not going to be good. Mm-hmm. And you're not going to enjoy that. They're not going to be pleasant. And you're going to make your life hard.
Well, one of the ways we have to be able to do that, and parents too often are not willing to do it, is they have to be willing to share the truth with their kids. One of the most damnable things that parents do is they pretend to be perfect. Woo. Until their kids get old and their kids realize, damn, you wasn't perfect. You could have saved a lot of drama if you just would have broken down your story to your kid.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They could have understood where that love and where that teaching is coming from.
Maybe they feel as if when they're, it's going to be used against them, they're going to turn the tables and say, it was okay for you when you did it. And you're like, okay, yes, I did that. And no, it wasn't okay.
They'll only say it was okay for you to do it if you tell them a story that made it look like it was okay for you to do it.
Glorifying it.
Yeah, if you don't tell them a story that made it look like it was okay, then they won't. They cannot possibly walk away thinking it's okay.
You can't glorify it.
I'm not going to tell you what I did was okay.
Right.
I'm going to tell you that's what I did.
Right.
And I'm not proud of it.
Right.
And here are the consequences.
And I was wrong.
Right. Here are the consequences of my actions.
And I hurt people.
Right.
Right.
I got to tell the truth. This
Right.
was not the right way to handle this.
Right. Right.
Totally. But that kind of transparency is missing from our moral society. We want everybody to be perfect. Our pastors, our politicians, our parents, our teachers, everybody's got to be perfect, and no one has the right to make a mistake. No one.
And to a degree, Mr. NOIZ, we sell ourselves as perfect, even though we know we're not.
I was going to say something to the effect, everybody's got to be perfect except for us.
Except for us. What we want is tolerance and understanding. It's a tricky thing we've done here in society. So that's what brings me back to my I know we made light of it and had some fun with it, but that's what brings me back to my Rachel Dolezal conversation. I would, if I could sit with that young lady, I would say to her, you've made a choice. Now here are the consequences of your choice. Number one, you made it wildly uncomfortable for your kids.
She's too old for that. She know the consequences.
Nah, I don't know if she does.
She's going for that bag. That's all she's going for.
But again, I don't know if they do know. Sometimes I think the pressure is so tremendous that people become farsighted. In other words, they can't see what's down the road. They see what's happening right in front of them, and they got to solve this problem right. That is farsighted, right? Did I get that right? I think I got it right.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. They can't see what's coming. All they can see is what's in front of them. And so I got to solve this problem today. And I get it. I understand that. We've all felt that pressure. We've all felt that pressure of I'm about to be put out, or as bill is due right now, or I gotta find this tuition money, or whatever the pressure is. The challenge of it is that if you become so farsighted that you become blind to the future, now you're doing damage, irreparable damage that you may not be able to fix.
But Mr. NOIZ, I agree with what you're saying. And we're probably going to say the same thing. I can't believe I'm actually saying that, because I hate when you say it. But
I can't stand you, but I love you though. That's
the reality is, I can't be this many years old and still playing ignorant and dumb. Within life, there are choices to be made, and sometimes we pick from a set of bad choices, but we got to make a choice.
Mm-hmm.
And oftentimes in life, in the midst of dysfunction and poverty and brokenness,
right,
all I have are bad choices.
Right.
The long-term choice is probably the best choice, but I can't think like it's like the kid that comes to school hungry. I can't think about what I'm going to be when I grow up, when I'm hungry right now.
Right.
You got to feed me right now. I can't think about the future.
So let's stay there for a second, because that's really powerful. Is it that I'm going to have to fight through this series of bad choices first because I've already made a series of bad choices? Listen, before I can ever get to the good choices?
That's why it's so freaking, Mama knows I say that curse word for a later date. I almost said it though. That's why it's so freaking important for us to be with someone that loves us and that we love. When you are out here trying to navigate life by yourself, y'all, that's a hard road to hoe. But when you have someone that you can talk to, that you guys can come together and agree upon, mm-hmm. and put it in the words of church folks, we're going to pray about it. Whatever you want to call it. Yeah. But together we can do it. If I'm doing it by myself, it's tough.
It's tough.
We need helpmates. We need spouses. We need a husband. We need a wife in order to do life together. There were times with my wife when I was going through our situations, and holy moly, we had to hold one another up. She looked at me one time. She said, "We don't know how we're going to eat tomorrow." how do you still smile? If she didn't have me, she wouldn't have been able to make it through that. Now, I'm not tooting my own fucking horn. I'm just telling you. That's what husbands supposed to do. That's what wives
damn it, tell it.
You tooted a little bit tooted.
No.
But it was okay. No. It was a good tune. It was a good tune. It was a good tune. I liked it.
Your spouse is going to come to you late in the midnight hour when they have no one else to talk to.
Right.
And talk to you.
Come through, sir.
Or else they will lose their freaking mind trying to navigate.
Yes.
Let me tell you why what you said. Let me tell you why what you said is so powerful. And here's where hopefully by the end of this, we all have a little bit of grace for Miss Dolezal. Because Miss Dolezal went through hell with her parents. And then she met a black man. And the black man said, I love you, Rachel. He got it between them cheeks.
What the?
He did, Mama Noise. He did. Mama Noise.
How do you know her was she
because she got black children, Mama Noise. And then he left her. But she kept the black part of her. And she said, I'm going to try to make this black thing work for my black children.
Or did she want the black experience? Because she sure got it.
But that's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is there was a series of bad choices that have led to another series of bad choices that have led to some exposing that have led to another series of bad choices. And here's the reality. It is not that easy to climb out of a hole of bad choices.
I know I'm gonna get the butt.
I preach that thing for my.
I'm just saying it's for every ethnicity to say they want the black experience. You're just like, you know what? Come
but
through.
You're making it about her. I'm saying we all have made some bad choices and then been looked at by the outside world as, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Well, listen. Shit hell. In the words of Cuz, shit hell. I made some bad choices. Now I got to climb out of these bad choices. I don't know if she still got black in her. I don't know that part. But I'm saying
maybe that's what they meant when they said once you go black, you never.
Wow, Savage Owl in full effect.
Damn. I'm just saying, I like Black China made a bunch of bad choices, a bunch that I would say I look at and say, damn, that has led you down some bad consequences. Now she's trying to climb out of that, and she's doing it to the tune of $1 million a month.
She climbing out of it now.
Climbing out of it. Now, at some point, maybe she'll stop and she go, okay, I ain't got to keep doing this no more.
No, I don't.
That's the hope. Boys, that's the hope. But the problem is, and here's where Cuz is going to appreciate this. If you only climb out of your bad choices physically and never climb out of your bad choices spiritually, emotionally, and morally, then you really haven't solved your problem.
So you don't think that
money is not going to change Black China's problem?
So Black China's going to go to law school like Kim Kardashian?
If she climbs out morally and emotionally and spiritually and says, now that I've climbed out of this hole, I've got to have a better life for myself and for my children. If she does that, then yes. But if she only sees herself as the OnlyFans model, you know what? Climbing out of bad choices is the equivalent of going to get a lap band and you instantly lose weight, but never stop seeing yourself as fat. What? The lap band only takes away the physical appearance. It takes away the mental side of it.
Yeah.
So if you never fix the mental side of it, it's inevitable that you're going to end up back in the same place.
Listen, I had a friend that went and had one of those and thought that she could go ahead and eat the same way she ate before she got it. And I almost had to go to the emergency room because that lap band wasn't letting nothing pass through of a certain size.
Well, Mama knows you got fixated on the lap band. I was just trying to use the
Mama
example.
knows. Why don't you go over there to the thermostat and turn the air up a little bit?
Don't you touch
You know
that
what? I
Hey,
need
hey.
you to focus.
Hey, listen to me. Yeah, you know what this is. Don't you touch that air.
I'm not allowed.
None of us are allowed. There is a beautiful 98-year-old woman, and she gets first dibs.
I mean, the only dibs. We just
The
have
only dibs. The rest of us, y'all layer up if you have to. Guess what? I ain't even mad at her.
Mm-mm.
You make it 98, you have earned the right to control whatever you want to control.
Yes, you are the official.
I ain't even mad at her. So anyway, I just think it's hard, man. And it's even harder when a society won't allow you to make out to try to come out of it in real time. We won't allow you. We won't love you.
I'm waiting on the rapper, and maybe he's out there because I don't listen to rap, so hell, I don't know.
What?
Somebody need to present the idea to all these damn rappers. Start rapping that money won't solve your problems.
Shout out to Tobe and Wigway.
Jewelry and women won't solve your problem.
Mm-hmm.
That you must do the work on yourself.
Yes, yeah.
And stop looking for outside help.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got all these rappers that you know, they rapping and they showing the Lamborghini, the car, the Bentley, the Rolls Royce, ass-licking women, the jewelry, the money. They rapping a lifestyle that does not solve the problem.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you challenge your inner Baptist church just now. What are you doing?
I don't know why y'all acting like I'm a heathen.
I'm just saying you went straight Baptist church just now. What is going on?
Oh, yeah.
Bruce said, and they won't sell no records or downloads.
Well, I mean that may be true, Anthony Bruce. I'm not debating that, but the reality is we need to figure out a way to get that word out because too many of us are going down the wrong path, thinking that will solve the problem, and it won't.
Tara disagrees with it. She says shoes actually will solve problems. Just FYI. No, I agree with you, cuz. I do.
There's nothing nicer than a nice pair of shoes on a woman's legs.
You drifted completely off just now.
I have fantasies about it. I love it. I'm being naked. I'm telling the truth.
Nope.
Is your real fantasy shoes on a red bone?
No, my real fantasy is shoe on the end of a nice leg. I love.
It had to be red bone, just any leg.
On
any leg.
I love.
It's any nice leg, Mama Noise. He like a leg. He's a leg man.
Well,
I don't like any leg. Now some legs too.
You said it.
Some legs too.
Mm-hmm.
When your ankle is as big as your calf.
Oh Lord, we better get out of this before this escalates quickly.
You put on the end of that one. It ain't gonna.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna end on this. You know, Rolling Stone just did an article. This is our last, in case you missed the Monday moment. Rolling Stone did an article this past week talking about the top 100 shows of all time.
Oh no!
Of all time.
Oh.
So you know I gotta know how many black shows made it. I'm just curious, Mama Noise. I be wanting to know.
Yeah.
Do they value us like that?
That is in case you missed it Monday.
Yeah. Why do we care about their value of us?
We always cared. We didn't care. If we didn't care, we wouldn't accept their Grammys. We wouldn't accept their Oscars. We wouldn't even show up. We show up because we care, don't we? Why you acting like we don't care?
Do we care about what white people think about us?
Well, now Now you know open another can. Just hold on. Let's get back to
Oh my gosh.
that. Don't we?
I'm asking, do we care about what white people think about us?
Apparently. Is it optional?
Ooh. Wow.
I'm going to say a mouthful just then when she said what she said and said it.
Just asking.
We work for them. So we have to care, don't we?
Do we have to get to a place where we don't care? Do we need to get to that place?
We get too far in a place, we're gonna be jobless.
We have to care if we're not going to do for ourselves.
I'm just saying.
Wait a minute now. Say it again, Mr. Nose. We have to care.
We have to care if we're not going to go do for ourselves. If we're not going to try to build something for ourselves and for our culture, then we have to care. We have no choice but to care.
Why do we? So we care so that we can get approval?
No,
acceptance?
we care because we're trying to survive.
That part.
Survive what?
We're trying to survive and achieve in a world or in a society that tells us in order to survive and achieve, we need that validation from gatekeepers that have built up places where we're trying to go and get.
Do you think
They hold my
ooh, this is a powerful conversation.
this is much better than what I was going. So I like, that's why, as you notice, that's why I shut down the other thing. This is much better than that. They hold my promotion, they hold my advancement, they hold my validation, they hold my opportunities. So I have to, quote unquote, play the game.
Do the Indians from India care what the white man thinks?
Only at the bank.
Preach.
But once they've got that bank thing cleared, they
Let me tell you something. Most white people in this country that live around Indians resent them to a degree because those Indians refuse to assimilate.
They done. By the way, you use the proper word. Refuse.
Yeah.
And that's why that white lady in Plano, the Hispanic woman in Plano cut the fool with the Indian lady.
Mm-hmm.
That was on the news because she was still saying tiny little thorn, she still had that really thick
You walk right into your bank, get a loan from your white officers, and walk right back out and go build in their own community.
But see, that's only because they've done their work before they got to the bank. The bank had no other choice. They got the power when they
the bank had choices except that the fact that money.
No. If you've done your work up front, the bank can't deny you. Too often we go to the bank begging for mercy versus having done our work and having our credit scores and our finances in order to where the bank can't deny you.
I think what they do, I don't know if they go and do all the work per se as much as they do employ their own people. And then you really ain't got to go to the bank unless you come in to make a deposit. And then they come in putting all this money up front saying, I already got the money. I just need.
Same point. They've done their work. They got the money in the bank. The bank can't deny them. Same point.
Yeah.
do they care as much as we care about what the?
They don't care at all.
No, they come in with the accent.
Except that the check clears and they can keep track of it.
They come in with the accent. They come in with the wardrobe and the whole nine. We the ones going, I'm trying to dress like the person behind the counter.
And by the way, that's not indicative of just Indians. That's Indian. That's Asian. Specifically, East Asian, right? They're like, we gonna build the culture that we want to build, and we're gonna do it in your face.
I was getting ready to say right in your face. We're gonna bring our own bank.
To some degree, to a lesser degree, but to some degree, that's also Africans.
It's also what?
Africans.
Okay.
Africans to some degree, more specifically Nigerians.
Okay.
They like, we're gonna come and get your engineering jobs, and we're gonna come and get your doctor jobs and your nursing jobs and your accounting jobs. We're gonna come and get those and try to push our kids in those same directions. And we're gonna do it in your face. But they will also assimilate as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's facts. They like, look, we'll put that's the part where, just thinking back to my observations in Plano is that, man, all these banks, I'd never seen so many I'd never seen so many East Asian banks in one city. And they like, forget coming to an American bank. I can go to a bank right here on American soil and get whatever it is that I need to get.
Well, but now they're doing both. Because if you know the game that's being played, they're doing both. They're building their own, but also they're staffing out of commercial banks as well. Like, I went to a commercial bank. I won't say the name of it, but I went to a highly successful commercial bank, and not one person in that bank wasn't Indian. And that was probably by design from the management, because he was like, if I'm gonna manage this bank, I'm gonna have who I want in here.
Hiring his own people.
Right. I'm gonna hire my own. And then I'm gonna send a clear message societally to my community that this is a friendly environment.
They live a very, very purpose-driven life.
Yeah. One that is where they have decided that our advancement is more important than my advancement.
Yeah.
Because if we succeed, then I succeed. I will win in concert with the rest of my culture.
I may have said this before on this here podcast, but they really are beating white people at their own game in this country.
Oh, for sure.
They're winning. Yeah. Statistically, they're winning. And there's nothing the Wahites can do about it. Because if you get rid of the Indians, then you've got rid of 50% of the doctors in America. You get rid of the Indians, you get rid of a whole lot of our engineers.
What is that, Al?
Gupta.
Dr. Gupta.
See that?
We won't have any lawyers left. They're very.
Al likes the little boy. He likes the little boy. It's true, though, right? True.
But
how many Dr. Guptas do you know?
The one that's on CNN.
A ton.
Sanjay Gupta, that's on CNN.
Listen. My next point to that is, though we should not care about what they think. What the hell is Sean talking about? Though we should not care what the Wahites think about us.
Oh my
At the same time, not caring and being focused on our people and our culture does not mean that I hate you as a people or that I hate anything. I have to build. I don't have to hate to build. So we can't get that twisted and become militant in our treatment of others. But we do need to become more determined that we matter what we think about us. It matters what we think about ourselves and not what others think.
So this weekend when they give out the hip hop awards, that's the pinnacle. That's for us, by us.
Well, that hip hop ain't for me.
See what I'm talking about? See,
you got the wrong Negro.
That's part of the culture, man. You have to accept the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah, you part of the problem. Be part of the problem, Jay. Be part of the solution.
You will never.
What?
I shouldn't.
Is it really for us?
It's not for me.
We created it.
Yeah, but we don't own it.
Oh, did we sell it away?
That's Viacom.
Did we sell it away? Well, never mind then.
We can go through the motions if that's what you're talking about. But Viacom was like, I'm gonna buy all this black stuff as long as black people don't know their value.
Why does black excellence on TV have to be so street? All of us are not from the street.
Yes, because you are a strong advocate for that.
I don't know if we ever said that black.
That's what they highlight. Even those of us that are from the hood are from the ghettos, whatever you want to call it. Most of us was raised in such religious environments. We weren't out there in that street anyway.
Yeah, but we don't like the Stella Awards either.
Not a damn.
Just say it, brother.
I never had an issue with the pop or the R&B. I never had an issue with those. But the rap is too much for me. That's just me.
You had an issue with the rap?
Issue with I have an issue with glorifying street life. I just finished talking about it. The cars, the chains, the money.
Mm-hmm.
I have a problem with that because that's not the answer.
Except when Snoop Dogg does a gospel album.
That boy can sing.
Except when Snoop Dogg does that.
He said that boy can sing.
Except when he does that next episode song and they talk about smoking weed every day. I kind of like that song.
So you had huge problem with them doing the hip hop, but zero problem with Papa being a Rolling Stone.
I have said.
No.
I'm just asking questions.
Here they come.
I've said over and over and over again. I thought Papa was a Rolling Stone was a part of the beginning of our demise.
Wow, really?
We glorified men having families on the other side of town. It became acceptable.
Even though he was telling the truth now.
What about Whitney Houston saying she's saving? What about Whitney Houston saying, "I'm saving all my love for you," even though it's only a few stolen moments is all we share, and you got your family. And
I never thought about those words.
You notice I said lies.
See, my point is they've been moving the goalposts on us for a long time in all genres.
They're moving the goalpost.
We just too stupid to realize that it wasn't just hip hop that was moving it. All of it was moving it. Every genre was moving the goalposts. R&B did it. Hip hop did it. Blues did it.
I don't disagree with you to a point. To a point, I don't disagree with you. There were a lot of lyrics in a lot of our music that was toxic or sexualizing women. But there was also a lot of lyrics in our music that talked about love and love for our women.
I got news for you. There's still a lot of music that does it in all genres. The problem is
all I hear, and maybe I'm listening with my bad ear. I hear is what we can, how we can merge.
I'm saying we've always said that, but we've got to just like we've always had to do. We've got to sort through we got to sort through the weeds, sort through the tares to get through the wheat. That's how it's always been.
A lot of R&B music, I didn't even know. as a teenager, because I'm sure I think that's back when it came out, I didn't know that Shirley Murdoch was really, I wasn't listening close enough to know that As We Lay, even though she was saying the words, I was just like, man, this beat is hot. Man, she is saying that. But then now that I'm a married adult woman, I'm sitting there going, it's morning. Time for us to say goodbye. You are that woman's husband. What the what?
Because one of the greatest vocal performances, modern vocal performances, and Al and Mama Noise, you can co-sign if you believe it's true, is Jasmine Sullivan singing I'm in Love with Another Man. I promise you, it is impossible to hear that song and not feel like, my God, that woman is talented.
Can you get those lyrics right?
That's what she said. I'm in love with someone else. Is that better?
Savage Al in full effect.
I apologize, Al. But she was talking about another man. But that's one of the greatest vocal performances ever.
But she also talk about knocking out folks' windows.
I don't disagree with any of what's been said. My problem is, I think you're full of shit.
Oh.
Our music has always talked about love, and sometimes that love was a love that you shouldn't have been involved with, whether that was a married man or a married woman or in love with someone else, whatever. Our music has always gone there. I don't disagree with that, and that's toxic and that's wrong. But our music stepped across the railroad tracks and started calling our women bitches and hoes, and started teaching our women that they were only valuable if they were able to shake their asses half naked on a video.
And you know why you can say that? Because you don't know what the hell you're talking about. There is as many songs that do that in the 90s as there are the Public Enemies who said fight the power, as the KRS-Ones who said you must learn, as Nas when he was saying I know I can be anything I want to be, as there are for every song that you're talking about that there are.
That was old school rap though. That rap is just about gone.
Modern rap, you can point to Chance the Rapper, you can point to Tobe, you can point to Mures, you can point, listen, Rhapsody. My point is, you've got to, the rap is out there. It's always been out there. The R&B has always been out there. The good, the bad, and the ugly has always been out there. Now, what is true also is that the industry, which is controlled by Wahites, they lift up the worst elements of who we are. That's why
always somebody else's fault.
No, that's real. No. Hold on.
It's always somebody. We put out
what I'm saying.
We sing it, but it's always somebody else.
Listen to what I'm saying. Listen, Linda. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm not blaming them for
in our community other than what
I'm not making. You're not listening. Once again, you're talking and not listening. I'm not saying they're making us listen to it. I'm saying what's being lifted up in heavy rotation are the worst elements of who we are. Now, we still have a choice. We don't have to co-sign that nonsense, but we do. We do co-sign it. And that's why a Cardi B can be a star. That's why Meg Thee Stallion can be a star, because they inundate us with that. And by the way, some of the inundation of that is done by black people. I'm not saying we as white. I'm saying Kathy Hughes is a black woman. She owns Radio 1. And she plays that in heavy rotation because she thinks that's what we want to hear. So we are our own worst enemy. I'm not disagreeing with that part of it. But I'm saying the music, to say that the music is not out there, that's not true. It's out there. You may have to work harder to find it, but it's certainly out there. The options are out there like they've always been. Why is Tyra giving us donuts? What's that about? Oh, I don't know what the donuts mean, Tyra. You got to explain that one. Y'all know what the donuts mean? Are those donuts? They look like donuts.
I don't know.
I don't know what that is either.
I'm not hip like that. I thought I was.
And yes, back to Tara's question up top there. Am I saying rap music is wrong? Any rap that demeans us, yes, I'm saying it's garbage. It's shit. It's trash. And that's mostly what's heard. Trash.
When you say mostly what's heard, what do you mean?
Why do we have to keep going back and forth over this? Are you trying to justify something?
No, I'm trying to clarify it. Because you keep saying what's mostly heard.
It's fucking trash.
Okay, I got it. You want to cuss? I get it.
So
what I'm saying is,
think about what it's doing to us. Think about what it's doing to us.
I'm asking you when you say what heard, mostly heard.
In the absence of parents to teach kids, where are they getting their lessons from?
Okay, he don't want to answer my question, so I guess
the music. The music is telling us who we are.
Okay. Again, I ask, my simple question is, when you say what's heard, are you talking about heard on radio, heard on MTV, heard on what are you talking about? Because the way music is consumed today is not the same way it was 25 years ago.
I don't disagree.
So that's what I'm saying. People have a choice. They don't have to consume it that way.
It's not by force where they
forcing you to listen to that music.
Yeah, you can select what you want to hear.
You can build your own playlist.
But then you also have to include this. I'm just, I love old school rap myself. But I'm saying we also have to consider this, is that rap, we can say all of it's gangster rap and all that type of stuff, but man, all genres are all equally should be held responsible as well. Because the some of the stuff that rock music was doing, they was doing their stuff low key. They got all kinds of genres that their stuff is just sneakily, being brainwashing our kids and stuff like that. So it says to me that if the parents are not involved or mentors and stuff are not involved to help these kids realize, don't be so consumed with this stuff that you start trying to do whatever it is that you hear or see, or listen to. You feel like you need to speak those words because that's what you listen to.
But they will.
But see, that's where I would like to rest our hats. I think the real disconnect is us as parents disengaging from societal music today. We are not helping our children to filter what is good or healthy music. And because we're not helping them to digest what is healthy music, they are left to decide that on their own. And that decision comes, like with everything else in society, consequences. Because if you keep feeding yourself, oh, that's my B, that's my B, that's my B. Guess what? I saw an actual poll the other day that said, I think it was the Breakfast Club that put this out. Do you have a problem with the word bitch? And I was and 75 to 80% of the people said no. You know why they said no? Because societally, like you said, cuz we've allowed ourselves we conditioned ourselves that word is an okay word if used in proper context.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So I don't disagree with that part of what you're saying. It's out there. For sure it's out there. But I'm saying from a choice perspective, as a parent, you have the option to be able to help your child to decipher what's good and what's bad.
Mr. Noiz, most parents don't have time for that. that is almost a full-time job to be around your kids and to monitor what they're listening to and to guide their listening. In fact, it's almost a losing battle, especially if they're going to public school.
It's tough.
Especially if they leave the house and go see friends. It's a very hard road to hoe.
Yeah.
Dare I say that I remember as a teen that, you know, if you could sneak away and listen to some Prince's International Lover, you're like, okay, that's not rap music, but it sure wasn't telling you to buy no cookies. It was trying to, you know, do what it do.
I mean, me personally, I understand what you're saying, but I never had a problem with the fucking in the music because I was fucking.
We all know that.
I ain't never had a problem with that. That's what we do. Humans merge. I ain't never had a problem with that.
I never had a problem with either.
My issue is the demeaning of our women. That's the issue I have. Nothing else.
Oh, okay.
And glorifying street life. Most of our kids, most of our young people are thugs, and they're not even from the hood.
But you can get that type of stuff on TV and on the movies.
Okay, well, you can say it's whatever you want to say.
Because I'm sitting there thinking about the movies that I used to watch. I was so excited to go to the movie theaters to see Boys in the Hood. I'd never seen anything like that.
and I still haven't. I still don't watch it. I've never seen them.
Until I see that, then see Minister Society, South Central, all of that stuff. I was like, is that what's going on out on the West Coast? Goodness gracious.
Never even lived it.
Nope.
But we got to witness it.
We got a bird's eye view.
Well, it's an ugly ass bird.
Well, and then most of us live up to it. Live up to the music. Live up to the images that we see. We live up to it. Or are we living down to it? Whichever one you want to call it.
Yeah. Are thugs only from the hood, or is that a perpetuated stereotype?
No, they are not only from the hood.
Absolutely not.
It is a self-fulfilling prophecy, is what it is.
Absolutely.
If you continue to celebrate, then you eventually become what you celebrate, regardless of whether or not you truly are that or not.
I agree.
Yeah.
Tara, you generally don't talk in so much code. What's all this damn code you giving us tonight?
Well, see, she's fresh out the joint.
That's right. She spent time.
She's reformed.
Oh, because I'm trying to figure out all these codes she throwing up here.
Cognito.
Don't listen to shit. What you talking about?
Called house incarceration.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's right. Because the book be trying to, you know, certain words and stuff be sending signals and all that type of stuff. So
go back to jail for Jay, Tar.
Right. She's trying to be encrypted. Yeah.
All right. Listen, real quick, while we've been sitting here, I was able to confirm a couple of things. So let me update some informations that I have for people's. Once again, the 5 is tomorrow. Tomorrow night. On this here platform right here, and then Thursday morning, we had to push the interview from last week to this Thursday morning. EJ Manuel will be joining us. However, most of you are probably going to be watching it on the rewatch because he's going to be on at 8:30 Eastern and 7:30 Central. So I know my Central people are going to be like, what? So y'all just catch it on the rewatch. So I just wanted to update everybody on that real quick. All right. Mom knows we hear every note that you're typing right now. And so with that being said, we're going to let the people go so you can type away.
Get on my nerves. Oh my God.
Don't we need some closing remarks from LB?
Yeah, let's go, LB.
All is well.
There it is.
When peace like a river.
Come on, Al.
It is well.
Hallelujah.
With my soul.
Y'all make sure y'all pull up again this Friday as we give out the Noisemaker of the Year award. And then we celebrate the anniversary this weekend. That's gonna be fun. And then Saturday's gonna be super fun because we're giving out the Uncorked Wine Award. And if you came last year, you know that was a lot of fun. We had a good time. Shout out to everybody that showed up too for the step show this weekend. That was fun too.
That was fun. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, we had a good time this weekend.
Yeah.
I thought Black Lightning would be, would stop by, but
Huh?
I said I thought Black Lightning would.
Well, she was in mourning. She was in mourning.
No, that would be because Black.
Oh no, he wasn't coming. He was, he was
Really?
with his boo.
You talking about shit? Oh my god.
He not on Saturdays no more. I thought Saturday.
No. They was out partying. By the way, that game that you went to, cuz I have never seen an ending like that in my life. Ever.
Which one?
Saturday night.
Oh, Texas A&M and Arkansas.
That was bananas. I've never seen that.
$10 he left before he got that far.
Did you stay to the end, cuz?
No.
I lost that money. I lost that money. That was a crazy ending, though. That was crazy.
We didn't have no dog in the fight. I mean, I wanted Texas A&M to win, but it was just me sitting there waiting and fighting all that while he was trying to get up out of there.
You would have been fighting, too.
A whole lot of people.
The old man in him would not allow him to stay to the end of the game.
Old man.
It wasn't me. It was my wife. She looked at me. She said, "Whenever you ready to go," I said, "Well, shit, I'm ready."
That's because you thought you was gonna get some when you got home.
Oh my gosh, what is happening?
And so, with that being said, we will see you all on. Peace.